Put 10 strangers in a room and give them a problem nobody has seen before. Before the work is finished, the room will begin making a second decision. Who sounds like they know what they are doing? Who deserves attention? Who should lead? Now imagine one person answers quickly, speaks without hesitation, and never says, "I might be wrong." Another person pauses, separates what they know from what they assume, changes their position when the evidence changes. Who looks stronger in the first 5 minutes? And who would you trust after 5 weeks? Those are not the same question. Research on status and overconfidence points to an uncomfortable fact. Confidence can create the appearance of competence before competence has been verified. That illusion can win attention, influence, and status. But it carries an expiration date. Because the moment a group can compare certainty with reality, confidence stops being a costume. It becomes a record. This is the confidence trap. Not the idea that confidence is bad. Not the fantasy that silence automatically makes someone powerful. The trap is confusing certainty with evidence, then building an identity that cannot survive correction. Every group has an information problem. You cannot instantly inspect another person's judgment, experience, or skill. You see signals instead. How fast they answer, how directly they speak, how much doubt they reveal, how others respond to them. Signals are useful. They're also noisy. In a 4-study paper published in 2012, Cameron Anderson and colleagues examined a status enhancement account of overconfidence. Their findings supported a disturbing mechanism. Overconfident individuals could gain higher social status partly because others perceive them as more competent. Notice the wording. They were not necessarily more competent. They were seen that way. Another real-world study followed students working in small tutorial groups. People who overestimated their own performance were also overrated by others. Underconfident students were judged more harshly than their actual performance justified. The room was not reading ability directly. It was reading a person's belief about their ability and using that belief as evidence. That is why fake confidence can work. It exploits the delay between a claim and a result. Status is not simply a possession. It is a social judgment. A major review of status research describes it as perceived social value inside a group. The expectation that someone can contribute to collective goals. Those expectations can form quickly, using cues that include real expertise, but also noisier traits such as extroversion and overconfidence. This creates a first-mover advantage. The person who speaks first can define the frame. The person who sounds certain can make everyone else's uncertainty feel like weakness. If the task is ambiguous and feedback is slow, the performance may continue for a long time. But attention is not the same as respect. Compliance is not the same as trust. And an early status advantage is not the same as durable authority. The strongest quiet power is not refusing to speak. It is refusing to spend certainty you have not earned. Research by Joey Cheng, Jessica Tracy, Joseph Henrich, and colleagues distinguishes 2 routes to social rank: dominance and prestige. Dominance relies on intimidation, coercion, control, or the ability to impose costs. Prestige is granted more voluntarily to someone whose knowledge, skill, or contribution is valued. Both routes can produce influence. That matters because ethical advice becomes dishonest when it pretends dominance never works. It can work. Fear can organize behavior. Pressure can create compliance. The difference is the kind of relationship it creates. Dominance asks, "What happens if I do not follow?" Prestige asks, "What might I learn if I do?" One protects rank by making disagreement expensive. The other earns rank by making attention valuable. Quiet power code is not about becoming harmless. It is about understanding that the most visible display of power may be a substitute for the harder thing, becoming useful enough that people grant you influence. Confidence performs best when accuracy is hidden. Then results arrive. The prediction fails. The deadline slips. The expert cannot explain the mechanism. A confident statement collides with a fact. Experiments on witness credibility show why this transition matters. Research by Elizabeth Tenney and colleagues found that people can initially prefer a confident source, but once they receive information about errors, calibration becomes crucial. A cautious witness who knows when to be certain and when to qualify can become more credible than a witness who sounds certain about everything. Calibration means confidence that tracks evidence, not permanent doubt, not weak language, not hiding behind maybe so you can never be wrong. It means the size of your claim matches the strength of your knowledge. When you know, say what you know. When you infer, label the inference. When you do not know, do not borrow authority from tone of voice. This is where fake confidence begins to collapse. Every confident error creates a debt. Every refused correction adds interest. Many people avoid "I don't know" because they believe uncertainty lowers status. Sometimes it does. If a role requires knowledge and someone repeatedly lacks it, humility cannot replace competence. But honest limits can also signal something more valuable. You are not managing the room's perception at the expense of reality. A meta-analysis of 53 independent studies, covering more than 16,000 participants, found that humble leadership was positively related to outcomes including effective trust, engagement, creativity, and task performance. The authors also warned that study designs and context matter. Humility is not magic. More recent workplace research examined virtue, competence, and dominance together. Across survey analyses and pre-registered experiments, the profile marked by high virtue, high competence, and low dominance was associated with the highest status. That result cuts through two bad stories. The first says kindness alone earns authority. It does not. Competence mattered. The second says authority requires dominance. In those studies, the highest status profile combined capability with virtue and low dominance. The lesson is not be smaller. It is make your strength safe enough to trust. Here is a 4-part code for quiet authority. First, separate signal from proof. A deep voice is a signal. A direct sentence is a signal. Expensive clothes, a title, a large audience, and fast answers are signals. None is proof of judgment in the task in front of you. Ask, what would I need to observe before I treat this person as competent? Use the same rule on yourself. Second, claim at the right resolution. Weak credibility often hides inside oversized language. Always, never, guaranteed, everyone obvious. Make the smallest claim that is both useful and true. Instead of "this will work," say, "This is the strongest option because of these 3 facts, and this is the risk." Precision does not shrink authority. It makes authority auditable. Third, build prestige through contribution. Do not announce that you are valuable. Reduce confusion. Solve the problem. Share the map. Give credit. Make the group better at seeing what is real. Prestige is not forced admiration. It is attention other people choose to give because contact with your judgment has value. Fourth, correct cleanly. When you're wrong, do not bury the error under explanation. Say what changed. Say what the new evidence supports. Say what you will do differently. A correction is not always a status loss. Sometimes it is the first proof that your confidence belongs to the evidence, not your ego. The confidence trap is not only something you fall into, it is something other people can use on you. Watch what happens after a challenge. Does the confident person become more precise or more theatrical? Do they answer the question or punish the person who asked it? Can they state what evidence would change their mind? Do they give useful credit or absorb every success and export every failure? Do their claims become better calibrated as information arrives? These questions do more than detect bluffing. They distinguish authority that can learn from authority that must be protected. And there is an important warning. Do not reverse the bias and assume the quietest person is the wisest. Silence can hide thoughtfulness. It can also hide confusion. Humility can be genuine. It can also be a performance. The standard is not volume. The standard is whether confidence, competence, and conduct converge over time. Fake confidence works because human beings must judge before they know. We use certainty as a shortcut for competence. We grant attention before the evidence is complete. Sometimes that shortcut identifies a capable leader. Sometimes it rewards the best performer of certainty. But time changes the test. Results reveal competence. Corrections reveal calibration. Power reveals conduct. Quiet authority is not the absence of confidence. It is confidence with receipts. It knows what it knows. It does not inflate what it hopes. It can make a strong decision without pretending uncertainty has disappeared. You do not need to sound certain about everything. You need to become trustworthy about when certainty is deserved. That is the difference between taking status from a room and becoming someone the room chooses to trust. If you want more evidence-based codes for calm authority, subscribe to Quiet Power Code. And answer this in the comments. Which earns more trust from you? A fast, confident answer or a precise